Good morning, everyone. Well, morning for me, I should say. Today we're going to be going through Fusion tool libraries and how they're a really great resource to use whenever you're drawing up toolpaths or whenever you're planning on writing a program. They're just a great way to be able to come in and select the tool that you need and have a lot of information at your disposal here. And what we've done is we've created a custom MR-1 tooling library. That way this library will match exactly what you're going to be getting when you order or when you get your machine in the box. So one of the great things about a tool library is that you can just click on a tool and at a glance see a bunch of information about it. Some really great starting points about speeds and feeds, little great things about diameters and lengths, and it can really speed up the whole programming process and make things a lot easier. So this is something I already have pulled up here, but what I'm going to show you guys is how to download our actual custom library. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come down to our internet browser here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Langmuir Systems homepage. From here, we're going to hover over the support section. If you come down to the downloads part. Now the downloads, it has all of our extra add-ons, all of our software that you can download. This is all for XR, so we're not interested in that right now. We're going to come down to milling, MR1. Now, I know it's not here right now, but it will be soon. We can use our imaginations, and we can see it right here. Click on it. And basically, you just download it to wherever you would like to on your computer. And then we're going to hop back over to Fusion. And now that we're back in Fusion, what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our local libraries. These are all the libraries that are stored on your computer. And we're going to right-click. And we're going to come down to Import Libraries. And basically, you're going to find wherever you downloaded the MR1 tooling file. The name might change a little bit, but it's going to be pretty darn close to MR Tooling for Fusion. I have it in my Downloads folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double-click it to select this. And it's going to download it into Fusion. So that's easy as that. This is MR1 Tooling for Fusion. It has all of the MR1 tools. They're going to be measured exactly to the right size, exactly the right flutes, all that good stuff. So what we can do now is we can just pick one at random, let's say this 1/8 stub drill. So when I click on it, at a glance, I get a lot of information. It seems like a lot, but once you start getting into tool libraries, once you start understanding some of the numbers behind it, it's all very nice to have. So just coming down here, I can see that, for aluminum drilling, I'm going to be coming at 8,000 RPM. I'm going to be feeding at about 17. My coolant's going to be on. I can come over here to the side and see I have a 1/8 diameter, 1/8 shaft, and I can see all this information just at a glance. Super easy. What I want to do is I can even double click on it. We can actually open up the tool. This allows us to actually make changes and make edits to the tool. So if you get your MR1 library and you're like, well, yes, it's a 1/8 stub drill, but it's my favorite MR1 1/8 stub drill. So you can change the name if you want, just to spice things up a little bit. You can also come in, and this is how you edit all of the geometry information. This cutter tab, all the geometry is pretty important. This is where it actually changes the shape of your tool. So if you wanted to change the length of it, you could make it 3 inches long, and it'll actually update the tool in real time. So one of the other important tabs is cutting data. This is actually what tells it how fast to spin, how fast to plunge. And so if you found out that, 8,000 is great, but what really works out is 7, you can change that in here. And so that's the one nice thing to keep in mind, is that this tool library is a very great resource to have. And a lot of this information in here is a really great starting point. It's really what you want to start out with when you don't really know how a tool is going to work. What you really want to do is go out, experiment, make those test cuts, and really figure out what works the best for the material that you're using. And then you come back and you update it in your tool library. And so every time you run that tool, it's going to be perfect. I can cancel out, and if I didn't want to change this exact stub drill, maybe I like this for some reasons, but I have a stub drill that it's a little different, because that's one thing to keep in mind. No tools are exactly the same. Just because I have two 1/8 stub drills doesn't mean that they're going to be the same length or for the same material or even the tip angle. The tip angle makes a really big difference when it comes to drills. And so let's say I have a little bit different one. What I can do is I can right click and I can go to duplicate tool. That way I can make changes to this one and leave this one exactly the same because all of my numbers are really dialed in. This is just a couple examples of what you can do with a tool library. I'm not going to go into too much detail because that's worth a whole nother video, but open up the tool library, play around, really dial in those numbers, and you're going to be smooth sailing in no time. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'll come around every once in a while, make sure everyone's questions are answered. And if you found this video entertaining or informative, feel free to give us a like. It helps us out a lot. So thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.